What's going on? It's Justeeni here, and today I've got a treat to show you. This is a game between Arvis, a Twitch streamer who does some Polytopia streams, who's been grinding Omaji to 1900 in-game elo, versus the possibly greatest live game player ever, Ratz, one of the GOATs of all time on the Empress side, who are going to be seeing point of view of both absolutely amazing players. I saw this game live from Arvis's point of view, and I just knew I had to show this game off. So Arvis was kind enough to give me the replay so I could show it here, but I'm going to plug Arvis's Twitch in the description, and also, if I can find exactly which stream this was, I think it was Thursday, I would highly recommend watching it from Arvis's point of view as well. Just seeing it live, it was such an experience. But let's get right into the replay. This game is absolutely something else. So starting just right off the bat, kind of normal Empress things. There's a lot of mountains in the spawn, which, spoiler alert, those will be very important later. So he finds a village, and then he gets climbing already. No mountain ruins. He just gets climbing right now. Don't try this at home. Ratz is a trained professional. What a play, though. And he's going for mining. He's got tons of mines, and he's just going to take advantage of that. So he's going for the level up. He's going for the workshop. And then he's going to get that nice level 3. And he's got a pretty good eco-development setup, training some warriors to play things safe rather than leveling up. And then he makes a little bit of a mistake here. This is the first of very few mistakes. He's one of the best players, as I've said before. He should have explored with this warrior first, and then this warrior second. The reason why is because it just would have helped a bit with order, which it did matter here because this rider on the ruins, he would have been able to kill it and possibly take the ruins for himself otherwise. But a little bit of mistake in order, very easy one to make here as well. So unfortunately, he does have to give up the ruins. He goes for another workshop, though, which is pretty interesting, but you'll see why later. And he's going to spam a few warriors. Makes sense. Keep everything nice and secure. And then he gets that lighthouse, and he's going to level up his capital, train some more warriors. And then this is where things get a little crazy. He's going to give that smithery, and he's already got a giant just off that one forge alone. Also giving him that Park of Fortune, and he's going to get another giant. 2 giants, turn 8, and he's got his Park of Fortune in the back pocket, but he only has 3 cities. And Arvis is using Omaji, and he's expanding fast. He's got the early roads. He's not developing much. You already know he's probably got most of the map. If Arvis has that eastern section of the map, then Ratz could be in trouble. Ratz gets meditation, but unfortunately, he doesn't go for philosophy. Kind of bad for the content, but you know what? I'll forgive him for that. He gets a really nice border growth, so he can get another giant. He also gets a workshop once again, not getting the vision, but he does see that Arvis did beat him to the east. He's only on 4 cities right now, and based on the looks of things, he might not actually get any more. He is getting trade, though, which is going to help him a lot. But here's the thing. Like, he is stuck on 4 cities because the way that Drylands works, there are not going to be any cities along here. There could be one over, like, here and here, but he's pretty far away from there. Arvis might already be making his way there. Like, he just has warriors to Arvis's riders, so it's likely he's going to be on these 4 cities on a while, but trade is going to make up for that, and it's going to give him that eco. And you're going to see this eco is going to matter a lot. He gets some nice vision, and yep, sure enough, Arvis is already there, and it's too late. Gets some nice level up, and he gets farming to just further develop his eco. He's going to get even more markets. 36 star per turn with just 4 cities. That is 9 star per turn per city already. Absolutely ridiculous. And he doesn't even have all of his markets down. But Arvis is pressuring with the giants. He gets a free spirit ruins, so he could get chivalry if he wanted. He's going to get another population growth, which I don't know if I agree with this one. I feel like a border growth would actually be pretty nice here. You take some good space to prevent a good border growth from the opponent. But then again, it doesn't really help your forges, and you don't have the most easily accessible resources, so maybe the population growth is still fine here too. It gives you the very cheap giant, which is definitely good here. And he goes for that. Goes for another giant, 39 star per turn now with just 4 cities. Absolutely insane. And he's keeping everything pretty safe despite the pressure from Arvis's giants. But he is going to lose a giant. And there's another giant. And he's going in towards Rolas. But Ratz is keeping cool. He's able to keep things secure and defended. He gets Chivalry to get a knight going already. He's got some more units. But he's on the back foot. This giant here is going to be pretty annoying. It's kind of stopping his knight here. And it's also stopping the swords, forcing him to make swords. He would love to make knights here to really potentially get at those riders that Arvis has definitely been spamming this whole time. And again, though, there's not really a clear line of attack for Ratz yet, so he's going to be stuck on 4 cities, and given enough time, if Arvis sets up his own markets, then this could just be game over. But he does have this giant going in the east. Looks like a pretty weak flank. He's not going to be able to hold it with the rider because he has a sword, but maybe the giant can help. But he's connecting the city, and he goes for a big road play. Gets the giant off that ruins, and he's got his defense secure. He just needs a good attack at this point. And yeah, Arvis defends just fine. And he gets construction, border growth, and he's going to be able to pop a giant there. So no longer a weak flank there, that southeastern city. So now all the attention's kind of up here now, on this side of the map, with these giants. With enough support, maybe these giants can be broken through. Because he does have knights, so maybe something can happen there. But right now, these giants are providing a good defense. If Arvis can also train his own units, he can keep things secure there. And again, Arvis just needs time to build up because he has that city advantage. He just needs to consolidate here. That is the big word here, consolidation. He can secure things and he's good to go. But really nice play. Hitting with the giant first so then his rider can siege. That is a devastating siege. Totally unexpected, and that's going to be super annoying to unsiege, and the giant's going to be able to re-siege if he doesn't do a giant push. So that's absolutely going to suck. Taking advantage of possibly a misplay. If Arvis could have afforded the giant push, he should have. But yeah, it looks like he does have the unsiege though, and he's going to go for the giant push now. And again, this giant here, really annoying. Right next to the knight, and just constantly a problem for Empress here. So he absolutely has to worry about that. And worth noting, he is still only on 4 cities, but 41 star per turn. So he is still doing pretty well, and he's getting some good pressure. Look at this here. He's got these giants kind of lined up. He's got this taking some space. Look at all this zone of control, by the way. Just like we've got this here. We've got this along here. This rider's going to die, so I don't really care about that. But look at all this zone of control. Gives a lot of space for his units, except for the fact that Arvis has his own really annoying zone of control here. But he's also got this really nice zone of control up here. And with the sword to kind of complete it and connect it all, he's got a really nice setup. It's pretty much impossible for Arvis to actually support this giant. So this giant is just going to kind of be alone here, not able to actually do much except for just be a little annoying at this point. So this is a really, really beautiful setup. And again, this was a live game, by the way. Like, this is the kind of stuff I would struggle to find in a 24-hour game. This is, like, actually insane. And especially with 4 cities, you get less time. And he's going for diplomacy. He meets the capital there. You can see that pretty well-developed capital, level 7. And he's got the cloak with intentions of sliding right into this juicy border growth city and causing some mayhem. And the cloaks are especially good here because Ratz's biggest issue is that he can only train 4 units a turn, but cloaks are a great way around that. He's going to be able to get 5 daggers per turn if he can chain onto a city and also steal some more income and kind of drain Arvis that way. So if he can get some cloak connections, he could be back in this game. So Arvis is going to defend. He just needs to spam some units, which he's got some units back there. He's definitely been at it. And he gets another giant, and kind of just looks to be stabilizing Gate of Power. And yeah, he does get a lot of board growth though, so if those cloaks do connect, he could be in a lot of trouble. He sends the cloak here. This might be a mistake, because this can be detected. If Arvis moves his warrior and then attempts to move his giant, it'll get blocked. And then when that happens, the warrior can kill the cloak. Instead, what he maybe should have done is move the cloak down behind this mountain to take some cover, because that could only be reached with this rider, which is much harder to find. I think that would have been a sneakier approach. Definitely not very easy. Or he doesn't know if Arvis has climbing here or not. He could just move it on the mountain, though that can be blocked by the giant just staying here. But Arvis would have to know about that. So I feel like there's definitely some better plays. I prefer moving the cloak here. Definitely not as good as here, I think. But this does seem safe until you realize this line exists. So I can't really blame him for missing it. It's a tough line to see. But it might be a problem if Arvis sees it and goes for the play. So let's see what happens. He gets another cloak. He's getting ready to chain. Gets another market, 42 star per turns, and he does it. He does it. He makes the play. Let's go back and see that again. See? So he roads the warrior up. He sees that there's a cloak. It's going to be either here or here. He's moved this giant, which kind of helps. It's mostly just for pressure. But he knows it's going to be one of these two squares, and he assumes correctly. He gets the 50-50 right. And now look at that. He's got two giants in here pressuring Pidolo, however you pronounce that. And Ratz has to get a giant there pretty much ASAP, or else he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Arvis is going to be able to get more giants, and his defense is looking fine. The cloak didn't work, so... Now, though, remember the north? I don't think Arvis did, because now Ratz is once again pressuring. He's got another giant, so he's got the super unit advantage, and he's got some knights. He's got the support, but where's Arvis's support? Maybe he's got a bunch of riders in the fog, but maybe he doesn't. Doesn't look very apparent. So, and he only has one giant, so he needs to dedicate a lot of units. He's able to unsiege for this turn. He gets some warriors. But now his giant's basically gone. 32 HP giant sieging. If he can't push that off, Ratz is going to get a very crucial 5th city. And now he sends the cloak down here, where this time it cannot be detected unless there's a sneaky rider in the fog. Doesn't matter what Arvis does with the warriors. If he moves this warrior here, he's going to be able to know, oh yeah, there's a cloak here, but he's not going to actually be able to do anything about it, which is going to be a problem, because this cloak is entering. And that's going to be, again, absolutely devastating if that lands. And he goes for construction, not only to upgrade his market, but he's going to get a giant in Pidolo. And he's looking good on defense, and he's got the siege. And if Arvis can't unsiege, then somehow with just 4 cities, using the power of some juicy markets and a good smithery rush, which I've never seen with Empress before, by the way, he might just get back into things. It's starting to look good, but if Arvis can stabilize, he's already got some windmills down. He just needs to get trade, just 1 tech away from getting his own markets. But this is absolutely dangerous here. You can see Arvis trying to defend. It looks like he can't get rid of that giant, but he can't go for the push either. And just, can we look at this formation again? Like, look at this beautiful setup with the giant here. Like, look at all this zone of control, and then from the sword as well, and these warriors, and like, this is just, it's a work of art. Like, it's just creating this perfect wall so he can easily train knights totally unpunished. Absolutely beautiful setup. He's able to kill a giant, no problem. Lands that cloak, and now he's even going to be able to land a siege, and there might not be anything that Arvis can do about it. And just like that, I think Ratz is winning. At 4 cities, now 5, only getting his 5th city on turn 20 on a normal dry lands, mind you. With an astonishing 52 make that 55, 56 star per turn. This is bonkers. Keep in mind, 5 cities, 56 star per turn. That is over 11 star per turn per city. Oh, but Arvis gets the giant push. Maybe things are still fine, but it's not going to be easy. Because Ratz still has a lot of pressure here. He doesn't just have a good economy. He's got a lot of units, and those units are posing a huge problem for Arvis right now. But, oh, and this Night Chain. And he's going to be able to get a siege with a giant. Oh, but he doesn't. I don't think... he might have not been able to do it because the rider was just not strong enough. Dang. So instead he settles for a siege with the rider. Train some more swords, some more knights, some more cloaks. All these really strong, expensive units that he can afford to get up, no problem. Get his eco up even further. 59 star per turn. Absolutely ridiculous. And he's got this pressure on the capital. Look at this. Look at this. That's Omanji's capital. If he takes that, he wins. He's got 2 giants here. 1, 2. He's got some swords. He's got some cloaks. He's got this giant here providing a nice zone of control and threatening here. And he's got this cloak that can sneak around, and he's got knight as support. Another giant that can come in. This could be disastrous for Arvis. He might not be able to hold on anymore. It's looking worse and worse for him at this point. He gets shields to hold on and just stall things out, but that might not be good enough. Stalling might not do it. Devastating cloak hit. Getting a ton of vision too and seeing he does have the riders, but they're not positioned where they need to be. They need to be defending the capital, but they're too far away. And he's got a lot of units he's got to work through. This is absolutely ridiculous. And just look at this economy too. 62. 62 star per turn. That is over 12 star per turn per city. Like, in order to get that economy without markets, you would have to get workshop in every city and have all your cities at level 11, which is just insane. Markets are ridiculous. Like, if there's a takeaway from this game, it's that markets are awesome and that Ratz is awesome. Goodness gracious, though. The pressure on the capital, and I don't think there's going to be a way to defend. He gets some giants, but that's not going to help him in the now. It seems like it's just too little, too late. The siege is just going to happen. Another cloak hit. And the giant providing more zone of control. Getting another lighthouse up top. And that's a siege. Sending more cloaks in. And Arvis resigns while Ratz takes a nice victory lap. What a game. 4 cities to how much? I'll see if you guys can figure out how many cities Arvis had to work with. Now again, Arvis is by no means a bad player. He is a very, very good player. But the fact that Ratz won with 4 cities for most of the game versus 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to 4. But the markets bring it home. What a game. Absolute beauty. I've never seen anything like this before. But I hope you guys can appreciate that as much as I did. Again, be sure to check Arvis out. Really cool guy. Awesome streamer. Really good player. And also, if you ever see Ratz, say hi to him for me. Also, Ratz, if you're watching, I'm your biggest fan or something like that. Hello. But yeah, like and sub. And have a good one.